Hello. In this video, we will be discussing the third rule of differentiation, product rule. A product rule simply involves two differentiable functions put together. We can have two or more functions, but for simplicity, let's keep it to two functions. So, what does a differentiable function mean? A differentiable function means that a function in of itself can be differentiated. That is, we can take a derivative of that function. So let's say we have two functions. The first function is u, but u is a function of x, and it is equal to 2x plus 1. And we have another function, which is v. V is also a function of x, but to avoid any confusion, let's call it g of x instead of f of x. So v, the second function, is g of x, and it's equal to x squared plus 3x. These are two separate functions, and each individual function can be differentiated using the basic rule of differentiation that we know. But when we put these two functions together and we multiply them, we require a product rule. So what does that mean? It means when we have y equals u times v, that is, we are multiplying the first function with the second function. So when we multiply 2x plus 1 and we multiply with x squared plus 3x, two separate functions, when we multiply them together, then definitely they will give us a new function. Or we can rewrite it as y equals f of x times g of x. Irrespective of the notation you are using, it still means the same thing. When we multiply the first function with the second function, we will have a function like this. So we have y equals 2x plus 1 multiplied by x squared plus 3x. When we have questions like this is when we apply the product rule. So a product rule is applied when we have two differentiable functions. That is, we have a function, but that entails two or more functions, and each function can be differentiated on its own. So what is the product rule and how do we use the product rule? First, we already know that 2x plus 1 is represented as u or f of x, and we know that x squared plus 3x is represented as v or g of x. So the y dx, which is differentiation of y with respect to x, equals, we take derivative of u, differentiate it with respect to x, multiply it with v, plus take the derivative of v with respect to x, multiply it with u. And that's the derivative. This is the product rule. This formula will be mastered as you solve more and more questions. However, I believe that it's easier to learn this formula by repeating it. What do I mean by that? I mean the y dx equals, take the derivative of the first function multiply it with the second function plus take the derivative of the second function multiply it with the first function. Personally, this is the easiest way. I think is the best way to memorize the product rule. And memorizing the product rule like this will also help you in memorizing the quotient rule, because you just only have to change two things. When we get to quotient rule, we'll talk more about that. So going back to the product rule, the y dx equals take derivative of the first function, multiply it with the second function, plus take the derivative of the second function, multiply it with the first function. And that's as simple as that. Let's look at two examples. The first example, Let's solve y equals 2x plus 1 multiplied by x squared plus 3x. So the y dx says take derivative of the first function. This is our first function and this is our second function. So the product rule states the y dx equals take derivative of the first function. So we take derivative of 2x plus 1. When we take the derivative of 2x, we have 2. And when we take the derivative of 1, 1 is a constant, so we have 0. So we've taken derivative of the first function, we multiply it with the second function. So this is the second function. We don't take the derivative of the second function, we just multiply it with this second function. So we have x squared plus 3x plus, take the derivative of the second function. So we take the derivative of x squared plus 3x. We will have derivative of x squared is 2x. And derivative of 3x is 3. So plus 3. We've taken the derivative of the second function and we multiply it with the first function. The first function is 2x plus 1. Again, the y dx is take the derivative of the first function, multiply it with the second function, plus take the derivative of the second function, multiply it with the first function. And that's it, as simple as that. You may leave your answer like this, or you may simplify further. It's up to you, depending on what the examiner wants. But usually it will be fine if you just leave the answer like this. So let's just rewrite it as dy dx equals 2 into x squared plus 3x plus 2x plus 3, and you have 2x plus 1. And that's it. Another example. This example says y equals 5x into bracket minus 3x plus square root of x minus 1 over 2x. Solution. We can solve this question without the need of a product rule. That is, we simply just multiply 5x with each, and then we open the brackets, and then we can apply the normal addition and subtraction rule. But let's use product rule. First, we can see that for this function, there are a few things we need to sort out. We need to sort out this square root, and we need to sort out this x that is at the denominator here, because we can't take a derivative of a function if we have this kind of problem. So first, we need to rewrite this function in a way that the derivative can be taken easily without any problem. So let's fix that. So we have y equals 5x into minus 3x plus, we want to fix this square root of x. Square root of x means x to the power of 1 over 2. Minus, we want to fix this x that is at the denominator here. So we will have minus 1 over 2, and then the x will come up. Then we have raised to power minus 1. As simple as that. If you need more information on how to do this, please refer to the video up here, or you may check the description below. We've solved a lot of examples where we are covering the first rule and the second rule of differentiation on how to readjust an equation so that we can take the derivative easily. Now that the equation is like this, we can take the derivative without having any issue. Using product rule, this 5x will represent our first function, and this minus 3x plus x raised to power 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2x raised to power minus 1 will represent the second function. Taking the derivative, so the y dx involves equal to, using the product rule, we take the derivative of the first function, which is 5x. Derivative of 5x is 5. Multiply it with the second function, so we have minus 3x plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 x raised to the power minus 1 plus, we take the derivative of the second function. We take the derivative of the second function. So taking derivative of second function will be derivative of minus 3x is minus 3. So we have minus 3. Derivative of plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 is plus, we bring the power down, 1 over 2 comes down, multiply it with the variable, and then we subtract 1 from the power using the basic rule. And the last part is derivative of minus 1 over 2x raised to the power minus 1. So we have the minus in the equation, and then we bring the power down, which is minus 1 comes down, multiply it with the existing coefficient, which is 1 over 2, write the variable back, which is x, subtract 1 from the power. So we have minus 1 minus 1. Close the parenthesis, and then we multiply it with the first function. So we multiply it with 5x. Of course, you can leave your answer like this, or you can simplify further. So simplifying further, we have dy dx equals, we are not going to open this first part here. We are not opening this. We are just going to rewrite it. So we have 5 into minus 3x plus x raised to the power 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 x raised to the power minus 1 plus this 5x here at the end. Let's bring it forward. So we have 5x, multiply it with minus 3 plus 1 over 2 x raised to the power 1 over 2 minus 1. That will be minus 1 over 2. Next, we have minus minus 1. That will give us plus 1. And 1 times 1 over 2. That will be 1 over 2. And then we have x raised to the power minus 1 minus 1. That's minus 2. And that completes the solution. For more examples on how to take derivatives, please check the playlist. The description is below. And in those examples, we will solve more questions on how to apply the product rule. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please leave it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in another video.